What's up, anime fans? I hope you guys smile on your face because I do. Today we're covering Cowboy Bebop. Now, with its return to the limelight, some would argue, like myself, that it's never left. But with its return to the limelight on Netflix, we decided to cover our thoughts on the new series and, comparing it to the original anime.
I think it's time to blow this thing. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
So let's get real for a moment. I mean, you can't please everybody. Now, if the anime, if the live action were to, word for word copy the anime, then, there'll be a lot of people like, it's not really original, the whole purpose of a live action, I feel, in my opinion, is to take something, an original anime work, and make it into your own in a way while keeping true to the character style, keeping true to their personality and things like that. Sometimes even their abilities. So it's a good thing when you're doing a live action to do like a prequel or sequel. However, some fans would argue that no, stick to the manga, stick to the anime. It's what works. It's not your right to change it. So no matter how you take it, there's not going to be a lot of people that are pleased on either side of the camp. Yeah, so that doesn't give us a right to just completely destroy. Like, I've seen a lot of creators on YouTube just completely rip this live action to shred. It is not He Who Shall Not Be Named live action, right? But come on, especially the ending where Ed shows up. Like, I've seen a lot of people blast the character who played Ed and whatever. And while it is true, it is hard to play Ed. It's the actor's first real notable role, and I think that it's a young person, so I think that we have to remember and see the humanity in people too. Like, it's a kid. Like, why are you roasting? You know what I mean? It's not like she had a choice of doing the way that the director wanted it, she's a kid. But I digress. Overall, personally, I'm a huge Spike fan, huge Cowboy Bebop fan, and I think it was fairly well done. I think there wasn't much better people they could have picked to portray each one of the characters they did. Honestly, John Cho did a great job as Spike Spiegel. I think he did pretty good justice to the role. Danielle Pineda as Faye Valentine, great job there as well. But what surprised me the most was Mustafa Shakir as Jet Black. Like, he blew my mind playing Jet Black. He absolutely destroyed the role. He killed it. It was like Jet himself there. You know what I mean? And I thought that was going to be one of the hardest characters to play, because he's got such a unique style, such a unique voice. But yeah, even facial expression, like his ideology, being so in that kind of mock future, but yet noir film type role, yeah, he did a great job there. So shout out to Mustafa Shakir, man. Like, he's doing his thing. John Cho again did a great job as Spike Spiegel, and Danielle Pineda as Faye Valentine. One thing you'll notice is that the first episode is pretty much like copy and paste of the first episode of Cowboy Bebop, of the anime, right? And I guess they did that in a way to kind of just bring people in with something that they were familiar with. And yeah, it was okay. You know, it was all right. I wish they would have strayed a little bit further away from it. Maybe brought a new side to it. But I understand the direction. You know, you kind of want to bring people in with something they're familiar with, something you know, that they can have people who haven't watched it in a long time can be like, oh yeah, you know, hey man, I remember that. Okay, and see the kind of the parallels between different characters and really kind of cement them in their role in your mind. As episodes went on, yeah, they did a pretty good job of kind of taking their own path, but yet not straying too far. One thing I didn't like was Vicious, and I'm sorry that they did that to my boy Vicious. Alex Hassel did the best he could, and he did a great job portraying the character visually, right? But Vicious's personality, and I get they took some liberties and they're trying to show maybe, you know, how Vicious would be if we saw more of him in the anime. But they just really made him look kind of pathetic. And Vicious is supposed to be like this badass dude that, excuse my French, but this bad dude, you know, like scary, like his name strikes fear, you know. And they kind of turned him into a whiny, pathetic, gangster, spoiled brat that has daddy issues. And I really didn't like that. And yeah, I mean, Julia played a lot more of a role in this series too as well. I guess they were showing a lot more, trying to show a lot more Spike Spiegel's past. Which, by the way, they don't call him Spike Spiegel. They call him Fearless, right? And I guess that's supposed to be his code name and whatever. And they kind of try to show the tie between Spike and, you know, the Syndicate and Vicious and Julia and the whole nine, which is fine. Again, I just didn't like how they did Vicious. A little bit of injustice there. Well, I shouldn't say a little bit. A pretty big injustice there. The other thing that kind of shocked me too was Julia at the end. Like, and by the way, if you haven't watched the series, please, this is gonna be a spoiler. But yeah, like at the end, Julia wanting to take over the Syndicate, like, that was such a twist, which could have been good. It could have been a good twist had they alluded to that throughout the episodes, right? But in no way, shape, or form did they allude to the fact that Julia wanted to take over the Syndicate. All we knew of Julia throughout the whole entire first season of the live action is that Vicious beat her up, and she wanted to leave Vicious and wanted to be with Spike. And now she's blaming Spike at the end for leaving her there. Instead of understanding Spike's character like she would normally have understood him and understood why he left her there and whatever, because he asked if she was happy and stuff like that, you know. So in his mind, you know, everything was good. He didn't want to interfere where he was not needed. No matter how much he loved Julia, right? And yeah, it's just a shame. Like, if they had it could have been so cool, like beautiful, if they had alluded to the fact that she wanted to take over Syndicate. Now, you could argue that the whole plot with you know, her planning to kill Vicious, having Vicious kind of try to go after the Syndicate leaders is kind of putting the seed, but in a way not really. Like, I felt when I was watching it more that she was doing that to try to get him killed so she could escape him. yeah, so her to end up blaming Spike, shooting him out a window, and then taking over the syndicate was way out of pocket, out of left field for me. But we'll have to see where that goes. And then a lot of people are ripping that, like, last 30 60 seconds where they show Ed, you know what I mean? And I think that we haven't had enough time really to see the character play Ed, you know, to really judge her character and her acting abilities. Unfortunately, you know, I mean, like, but yeah, like, Ed is, I mean, the person who plays Ed is just like, I mean, like, it's a kid. Like, some of the things that people are saying about her is like really not cool. And yeah, unfortunately, she's just been like 60 seconds. Give the kid a break. Let's see how they play. She plays Ed, and you know, where that goes from there. Like, I can understand if she was playing Ed and it was like terrible for like 5 episodes or the entire season, you know what I mean? Which again is down to the character development of the writers and the producer and things like that. But yeah, that's my thoughts. Hit me up in the comments, let me know what you guys think. A lot of more live actions are coming out more frequently. What do you think? Are you a purist where, you know, you would rather them just make it exactly like the anime and but with real people, or are you, you know, more on the liberal kind of creative side of things? Hit me up in the comment, let's have a discussion, you know, and I will see you on the flip side. Gonyeezy out.